What's going on, you guys? So days like these aren't easy, but you get through them. Yeah, 41-27 final score for the Raiders versus the Commanders. Not exactly easy, but like I said, you just kind of or 41-24, whatever. Doesn't matter because at the end of the day, either one wasn't good enough. Because the thing about it is this also was without Jane Daniels. Now, Marcus Mariota actually played really well. He's more than a serviceable backup at this point, in my opinion, but discussion for another day. The way that this Raiders defense got absolutely worked, the offensive line looked atrocious. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Let's welcome back to the Raiders' latest edition of Standouts and Fizzouts because everybody has their own edition of winners and losers. Ours is Standouts and Fizzouts because of players that stood out and because of players that fizzed out because of pop. It's not a pop or soda day. Again, in the comment section, let me know what you guys think. Is it Coke, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Diet Dr. Thunder, whatever it is? Let us know what kind of pop/soda you guys drink. But this one was rough for a lot of different reasons because, again, it wasn't like the Raiders got absolutely shellacked here. They were in a position to actually get the ball back towards the end of the game, down 2 scores, and maybe make some noise against arguably one of the best teams in the NFC, and you just couldn't do it. You just couldn't do it. So today we're here to talk about the standouts, so let's jump into it. So first off, yes, Trey Tucker had himself an absolute day, scoring 3 touchdowns on the day that, honestly, I think that's more than he's scored in his entire career. At this point, are pretty close, but it was good to see him absolutely break out 8 for a $145 and 3 touchdowns. Like we said, he looked really, really good today. Also, I got to give my props to Geno Smith. I know when we'll talk about the offensive line here in a second, but overall, Geno Smith continually puts this team in a position to win games. 19 of 29, 289 yards, 3 touchdowns. The fact that he was able to keep them in it, despite the fact of how much under duress he was. I think the Commanders had 5 sacks on the day, which the Commanders are good, but they're not 5 sacks good. But anyway, Ashton Jeanty also, I put him on this list because he actually played pretty well. He had 17 carries for 63 yards. And like we said, the offensive line needs to help him out more, but I think Ashton Jeanty had himself an okay game. We'll put him on the winners here, or the standouts, excuse me. So Jacoby Myers also had himself a pretty good day. Finished the day with 3 catches for 63 yards, mainly highlighted by that first half really nice catch and run. Also Brock Bowers, he's always going to be on this list because we love Brock Bowers, but 4 for 38. And then Thomas Booker the fourth. So had that punch out or at least that tackle on Marcus Mariota when he had that fumble, and it really started to shift the momentum a little bit to the Raiders. So, but I mean, they weren't necessarily able to capitalize, but it definitely helped out the Raiders in that regard. Also, so I really was encouraged by how Max Crosby played today. Again, they didn't tackle well. I will admit that, but Max Crosby led the team in tackles with 7. Also had a sack. I think it was Ja'Cory Crosby Merritt on his butt, which was good to see. But this defense has got to get it figured out. Kyu Blue Kelly recovered that fumble that was caused by Thomas Booker the fourth, so that was good too. Defensively, I'm hard pressed to find a couple of other plays. Like, Max Crosby played well. Adam Butler wasn't bad. Elandon Roberts had 5 tackles. Devin White, I mean, he still looks good, but we need more. We need more from this defense. And again, I understand it's the Commanders and arguably one of the best teams in the NFL right now, but you still got to get it done. You absolutely have to get it done. FIZZOUTS. Everybody but the offense. Just kidding. So, first off, special teams directly may have caused this loss. Like, you don't ever pin it on one thing necessarily, but you talk about you had a punt return for a touchdown. You had 2 really nice long punt returns. You had a kickoff return that was to start the game that led to the Commanders' first touchdown of the game. So indirectly or directly, however you want to put it, the special teams was responsible for 2, maybe 3 touchdowns at the very least. So. Oh yeah, we gotta get coverages figured out. I think it was Dylan Labu who lost contain on that first kickoff, and then after that, it was just an absolute. It was a crapshoot. It really was, and it's rough. But at the same time, like, if you can get special teams at least nailed on to where they're not allowing such long returns, and you cut that touchdown return out, I mean, arguably, that's a 3 touchdown swing that puts the Raiders on top, if not at least ties it. So, oh man. Rough day for special teams. I will admit that I saw, I don't know if you guys saw, but Darian Porter got absolutely shoved out of bounds on that punt return for touchdown, and it was just, wasn't good. Wasn't good. We will rise again, though. Anyway, more FIZZOUTS. So DJ Gillies got absolutely worked today, responsible for 2, 3, probably more sacks, but at least 2 sacks, also multiple pressures. Like, he literally got bench pressed back into Geno Smith by a corner, which, oh boy, maybe it's time to put some of these other guys back there. I don't know, but that just was not good. Colt Miller got bench pressed into the lap of Ashton Genty, so is what it is there. The offensive line as a whole really didn't wow me, but those two directly, you just watch them for any extended period of time, and yeah, they got absolutely worked. Back-to-back plays to Dylan Lobby late there in the game, where you are in a spot where, yes, I know that you. I believe maybe SJD was banged up. Then I'm not sure, but the point is that you go back plays with Dylan Lobby when you have a guy like Geno Smith. That the read option was there on at least one of those plays. Not to mention the fact that the running game really wasn't doing it for you. The short and intermediate passing game was. I honestly, I know you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, but I would have liked to see them come up with some different play calling in that particular situation. Also, Jeremy Chin got absolutely just beat on that touchdown by McCaffrey, where again, I understand that it was a blanket coverage. You had a safety help over the top, but you have to not lose a guy like McCaffrey. I don't believe it was man, but at the end of the day, you are a stop away from getting the ball back for your offense and maybe having a chance to win this game, and you get absolutely just beat like that. That's just rough. So the important thing here is that this isn't the end of the world. The Raiders, despite the fact that they had multiple players that just did not have it today, this is still a team that can come back, and their offense is explosive. Their defense is opportunistic. It's just, you got to live through days like this. And I think that this was yet another learning example for them how to win with a guy like Pete Carroll, where he's been in a lot of these close games. He's had to turn many teams around like this that, they're right there at the end. And like I said, I think this is a learning experience. We were right there at the end, and I think that by the end of the year, we will start winning some of these games that are close like this, and our defense will start making plays. Offense will put points on the board. I'm not really that worried about it, but in the meantime, you do have to live with it. You do have to live with tough games like this. But overall, let us know what you guys think. The Raiders, standouts, and FIZZOUTS against the Washington Commanders. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you on the next video.